personal way. Her firm concentrates on real estate law, business transaction, and acting as a title and closing agent. Attorney Weiner combines over 30 years of solid real estate and business law expertise with understanding and compassion for her clients' needs. Attorney Marlon Weiner works with homeowners and local and foreign real estate investors who are buying and selling Florida real estate. She assists with deed transfers, residential and commercial sales and leases, title insurance, first-time home buying, and loan closings. Whether you are buying or selling residential or commercial real estate, you need sound legal advice. The law office of Marlon J. Weiner, PA, can help. To schedule a consultation, please call 561-443-7124.
You are listening to the Ask the Experts show with host Steve-O. We will be right back with more experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Join us every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. Now, get ready for more Ask the Experts.
And we are back. I guess I've got a echo in here some way. Anyway, we are back, and today we did our employment law show, and now we are going to be doing our real estate show. And believe it or not, even with the virus, there is so many things going on with real estate, and we were so lucky to get the best real estate attorney. Let me introduce you to Marlon Weiner.
Hi, Steve. How are you doing?
Hi, Marlon.
It's good to talk
Can
to
you
you.
hear me
Hear your
okay?
voice, Steve.
I'm sorry?
I said it's good to hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes. For some reason I'm getting an echo in here. How have you been?
We have been well, quarantined here like everybody else, but we are well.
Well, first of all, tell everybody about your firm. You do real estate law as well as business law.
Correct. I do real estate and business transactions, and I am also a title and closing agent. I have an office in Boca and an office in Aventura. And my phone number for people who want to reach me is 561-443-7124.
Well, I got to tell you, today when we did our social media that you were going to be on with us, and that you are a real estate attorney, we got about 10 or 12 emails,
Well,
all the same, asking about business interruption.
I guess they're asking, I assume, about business interruption insurance.
Yes.
For business owners. And this is going to be an area that's going to be heavily litigated. There are some of the top law firms in the country are starting cases now on behalf of insured clients where the insurance companies have been rejecting their business interruption claims. And we are going to be waiting and seeing how those cases play out and how the courts will decide whether this COVID pandemic is going to be covered by business interruption insurance. This is, making law.
Well, I was shocked. Many people wrote us about the same thing. No,
Yeah.
what I should have known, we have a lot of business owners who listen to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what kind of calls you're getting now to the office.
And it's kind of all over the place. What is shocking to me is how active the real estate market continues to be in this pandemic. And what I'm finding is something we saw kind of glimmers of, in the past year, but kind of the floodgates opening. We are seeing people pouring out of New York, coming to South Florida.
To
We
move?
have lots of people, a lot of young couples who left New York City, came down here, moved in with their parents, and they're not going back. They're buying houses here. They're staying.
Wow,
We
that
have
is
people who were
amazing.
considering retiring to Florida. They're doing it now. So
Well,
it's
just the
really
taxes in
shocking
New
to
York
me
alone.
how much action there is.
Wow. What about investors here in Florida?
Those are not the calls I'm getting. I'm really getting calls from the people buying and selling single family. That is really the hot market, is single family homes.
How do you
Condos
show
are
a property
challenging right now until some of these
with the
restrictions are
crisis?
lifted because it's impossible to show the properties. You can't get into the buildings.
Yes.
That may change as we open up, but right now that is very challenging.
What do you do now?
What do I do?
No, with showing properties.
Well, it's interesting. I think that it's my experience has been in the single families. People are putting in basically rules: mask, gloves, shoes off, don't touch anything, and the properties can be shown. On the other hand, there are a great number of sellers, I think, who are holding back, who would like to put their properties on the market but are concerned about having anybody in their homes at this time. So those who are being very conservative, saying even those restrictions are not good enough for me, I'm still worried.
Well, that's
So
probably
you
because
have those
we
who will
don't.
show and those who are just not comfortable.
Right. There's people who they say have the virus that don't even know they have it.
Absolutely. I mean, look what's happening in the White House. If they can
Yes.
have it in the White House, it can be anywhere.
What's going to happen with the foreclosure market?
Well, I think that ultimately we're gonna have a tipping point. If the economy does not restart successfully, and we don't know what our economy is going to look like. I think we're going to see our world changed forever. Some jobs will never come back. Some businesses will never be able to come back. And that is ultimately going to result, unfortunately, in foreclosures, residential and business,
Marlon,
and
I
bankruptcy.
saw today where Sweet Tomato is going
Yes,
out of
they're
business.
not going to reopen at all
No.
because their business model is not sustainable in what is going to be the new normal. You're not going to see buffets and salad bars, you know what I mean? And,
Right.
food concepts where there is just too much interaction with the food. And that was the whole concept of that restaurant chain.
That's so
And
sad.
they know it's just not going to be workable.
I also saw where Metro Diner is going out of business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because,
Really sad.
again, numbers. How can a restaurant, be sustainable at 25 or 50% capacity?
How is that going to
This is
work, Marlon?
it's really difficult,
Because
very difficult. And when you
25%
think of a
is
lot of
nothing.
businesses, a lot of retail businesses, think of them, how can they, create an atmosphere where there's social distancing, where people are not touching the product, and then the next customer comes in and touches the same product. Very difficult.
I was talking on the last show. Mark Cuban in Dallas hired 100 shoppers to
Mhm.
go into restaurants, kind of undercover.
Mhm.
Do you know that 80% of the restaurants were actually over 25%, and employees were not all wearing masks or gloves?
I'm not surprised because I saw some pictures today of restaurants opening up in Palm Beach County today, and I saw servers and customers not wearing masks.
Wow.
And I was very surprised. And I don't know, I wouldn't be comfortable. And I know a lot of people who would not be comfortable going into a restaurant if that's what they saw. I
So
think,
let's get back,
we
getting
need
back
some
to real
uniform
estate.
guidelines.
So are the mortgage companies must be really busy now with the rates being so low?
They are flooded. They are crazy busy because of, these historically low rates. But the flip side of it is that mortgage lending is tightening every single day. So we are in a very strange world in terms of mortgage lending. Great rates, but the restrictions, meaning who will be able to get a mortgage loan, is getting narrower and narrower. So what's happened recently is a lot of the big lenders have raised their minimum credit score requirement and increased the down payment that they're going to require. So this will take out a whole group of potential borrowers. If they're going to require credit scores above 700 and 20% or more down payments, that's going to exclude a lot of potential homeowners. And that was announced Wells Fargo and Chase. They're also holding back on the home equity line of credit loans that were very, very popular. They're just not available right now. Very
That's
rare.
what I heard.
The banks don't want to get in that position where they might find themselves with an upside down property if you strip out too much equity with a home equity line. So those are becoming
We're here talking
challenging
to
loans to get.
attorney
And the jumbo
Marlon Weiner.
are becoming
I
challenging.
want to ask you what the calls that you're getting at the office, are you getting calls from businesses that were not able to get the loan?
Yes, many.
Many.
And businesses that did get loans, but are very concerned about whether they should use the loans or not, because they're really not in a position to reopen now and hire back their staff. So that's
right.
a very difficult analysis for a business to make. If you can't really be open and you rehire the staff and 8 weeks later have to lay them all off again, what was really accomplished?
Right, because it's only good for a certain period of time.
So and then many businesses weren't even able to get any PPP loans. And then there's other businesses that just aren't going to, as I said, just like sweet tomatoes, their business isn't going to make sense, in an environment where people have to socially distance.
So the day of the buffets might be over.
I think that's over. I think just, I had a client call who has a gift shop, gifts and cards. She can't see how she can have customers coming in one at a time, and if they touch a piece of merchandise, how do you have the next customer touch that piece of merchandise to look at it? How does that make sense? So
let's go to break. When we come back, we're here with attorney.
Every business can't reopen in this new environment.
So sad. We're here with Marlon Weiner. Give everybody your phone number and your website.
Sure, it's 561-443-7124, and my website is mwfloridalaw.com.
And you're open. I mean, you're working out of your house, but you're open.
We're working remotely, but we're doing closings on my patio. I've had them outside in parking lots. We get the deals closed in ways that, people can socially distance, but we are closing transactions. And fortunately, a lot of what we do, we can do digitally and remotely. We always have been able to, but it is a new world.
Let's get a break in. We'll be right back with attorney Marlon Weiner.
The law firm of Marlon J. Weiner, PA, is a small, focused South Florida law firm delivering high-quality legal services in a personal way. Her firm concentrates on real estate law, business transaction, and acting as a title and closing agent. Attorney Weiner combines over 30 years of solid real estate and business law expertise with understanding and compassion for her clients' needs. Attorney Marlon Weiner works with homeowners and local and foreign real estate investors who are buying and selling Florida real estate. She assists with deed transfers, residential and commercial sales and leases, title insurance, first-time home buying, and loan closings. Whether you are buying or selling residential or commercial real estate, you need sound legal advice. The law office of Marlon J. Weiner, PA, can help. To schedule a consultation, please call 561-443-7124.
This is the Ask the Expert show. We're on every Thursday and Monday from 6 to 7. 4 stations, 95.3 FM, 103.9 FM, 96.9 FM, and 1470 AM. And I am so glad that we have attorney Marlon Weiner with us every month, because we kind of get the both worlds with her, because she's a real estate attorney and a business attorney. Do you like kind of feel like crying and seeing where this is going to?
Where do I think it's going to?
I mean, it's just
I
like,
don't know.
you know,
I mean, you wake up every day and you wish this was a bad dream that you would wake up from,
yes.
and that it would be over, but it's not. And we are all going to have to, work our way out of it, and it's going to take a long time. And it's going to be different.
I'm thinking about people that haven't gotten unemployment yet. They hadn't gotten a check in 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
We've got businesses that have been closed down. And even when they open, they can't open at full capacity.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I mean, we have food banks. We have people lined up for food. In America, this is America, and it's unbelievable what we're seeing. And
What
yet,
is
if
the
we open up too quickly, too broadly, we can end up with horrific, illness and death numbers. It's
yes?
This is an unimaginable place to find ourselves in.
I heard today, now the new prediction on deaths are 135,000 people. I mean, 80,000 is bad, but 135,000. And they asked the doctor, why is it going to go up so much? And he says, because people are becoming more mobile now.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's the concern. And, you can't see this virus. You don't know where it is, who has it, how is it traveling. But as we become more mobile and more things open up, the virus is not gone.
No.
It's still here, and, could get worse before it gets better. Really scary. And the latest out of New York, with the way this has morphed into now something that's affecting children with,
I saw that in New
a
York.
whole new syndrome. Very scary.
What is FHA doing now in regards to the loans?
Well, we're still seeing that program so far still healthy and still strong. And it may end up becoming where our buyers are going to have to turn to if the, major lenders continue to, tighten that spigot on mortgage lending, I think we're going to see more people. I've already closed 2 FHA loans in the last month. I think we're going to see more people going to FHA loans. And for our listeners who aren't familiar with it, it's kind of an old-fashioned program, but a great program in that it's government-backed, and it allows people to, buy properties with very low down payment and not the greatest credit scores. You can basically buy with a 3.5% down payment and a credit score of 580.
Wow.
So
Are
it's opened
FHAs
up,
hard to find?
home buying to, a great amount of people that might have thought they were closed out of ever becoming homeowners. And I think we're going to see a swing into FHA loans as the conventional market tightens up.
Are FHA loans hard to find?
No, they're not. It's just you've got to, there are caps on the amounts you can borrow FHA, and a property has to meet certain requirements in terms of age of roof, electrical panel, just, kind of the basic, elements of structure. But if you can get a seller to cooperate with you and be a little patient for you to go through the process, it's a great loan.
What are you telling your clients? It seems like they're all calling you up now, freaking out and looking to you for advice.
Well, yes, and I'm getting a lot of calls from people, on the buyer side who have, put deposits down under contracts, some of them with developers, buying new construction. And their whole financial world has changed since they signed that contract a year ago, to build a new home. And they're not going to be able to afford to buy it anymore. What can they do? And I've had at least 3 or 4 calls from people in that position. Very, very difficult. I always tell them start with the sales representative at the developer. Call them, explain your circumstances, see what options, the developer might be open to. Perhaps you can negotiate some resolution. Generally, it ends up that people, unfortunately, end up walking away for their deposit, not buying the house, but hopefully not getting sued, afterwards for more.
Right.
But this is happening to a lot of people. Their world looked a lot different a year ago when they signed those contracts for new construction.
I mean,
On the
people
other
think
hand, there's
things are
people
bad
who
now.
can't wait for the new construction homes to be built, and they're ready to close.
Is there new
depends,
construction
where
going on
you are
now?
financially.
Is there new construction going on now?
Absolutely. And I think some of the developers are, I've noticed this in some of the advertising I've seen. I've seen some developers throwing in some new incentives that I hadn't seen before. I saw one ad for a developer putting in a furniture package that came if you signed a contract by a certain date. So I think developers may be starting to incentivize to keep, the flow of sales, but they're still building and they're still closing. So, there are people that are blessed and are not, are untouched by, this disaster, but there are others that, it is changing their world.
What are you hearing about the mortgage companies? Are they?
I didn't hear that, Steve. Please repeat that.
What are you hearing about the mortgage companies? Are they being more lenient about making your mortgage payment?
I think that they are working with borrowers. I don't think they want what happened after the 2007, 2008 crash to happen again. So I think that there is, more openness to trying to work out loan modifications. to give people an opportunity to stay in their homes. For the most basic thing, how do you, hand sanitize and wash your hands and, socially distance
Yeah.
if you've lost your home? Let's face it. You want to keep people in their homes to keep them safe, keep them healthy, and hopefully they get back on their feet, when the economy starts to come back. So I think the lenders are going to work with borrowers for a certain amount of time.
But you're still you're not getting out of a payment. You're still gonna owe your
You're
payment.
ultimately going to owe it. It's kind of like pay me now or pay me later.
Yeah.
It'll be, probably tacked on, to the back end of a loan. But if you can get some breathing room now when you need it, that's what you're looking for.
Are you negotiating any of those deals with the mortgage for your clients?
I haven't been doing any yet. I've gotten calls from a few clients who are, on the cusp of not making payments and going to see what happens. And, if they want me to try to, work with them, we'll discuss it. But anecdotally, I am hearing people that, can't make the payments right now and are looking for help. But I don't think the lenders want the houses.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
they'd
think
like
they do
to
either.
try to find a way to, keep the loans, if not intact, hopefully resurrect them a little bit down the road, but not end up with the foreclosure mess that we had before.
If you're looking for a real estate attorney who knows everything about real estate, buying, selling, mortgage, everything, attorney Marlon Weiner, give everybody your phone number and your website.
Sure, it's 561-443-7124, and my website is mwfloridalaw.com.
Please stay safe. We need you back again next month.
You too, Steve. You stay healthy.
Thanks, Marlon.
And I hope all our listeners also stay healthy, stay safe, and we'll see you again next month. Thanks, Steve.
For sure. And
Bye-bye.
We'll be back on Thursday with more Ask the Experts.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Thanks for listening to the Ask the Expert Show, featuring interviews with local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Call our office at 888-574-6999 to become one of our experts on the show. And tune in again next week for more Ask the Experts with Steve-O. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly